Hi guys, welcome back to Pipro vs YouTube channel where curiosity meets the core. Today we'll be seeing how to create a population counter with gradient background. But before that, we'll be checking the packages pre-installed in my system. So the first command that I'm going to execute in command prompt is pip list, where you can see all the packages with the versions. So you can give a look about what package is what version and update it accordingly. So you can take a look onto your packages. If not installed, please do install it. You can just Google how to install and there will be a command for that to execute in command prompt. Another command to check for all these is pip freeze, which gives a similar output where packages with the version will be mentioned. So let's start with the coding part of the program. So as usual, we import the necessary libraries for the program. So here you can see Tinker as TK, which allows us to access the tkinter classes and functions using the TK. And we have from the tkinter import ttk, which provides the theme widget classes. So let's have an overview of the program. So you can see the main class as population counter, under which we have first function as init, the second function as update population, and the third function as change the gradient. And out of the class, we have another function of main and the GUI part. Let's see what the first function of the class population counter does. Firstly, the sentence of class population counter. This line defines a class name population counter under which we have the first function of def init self master. This line defines the constructor method of the population counter class which is called when the object of the class is initiated. It takes master as a parameter which represents the parent widget, usually the main window. And we have self.master is equal to master. This line assigns the master parameter to instance variable self master, allowing across the parent widget throughout the class. And we have self.master title population counter. This line sets the title of the main window to a population counter. It's followed by self countries is equal to China, and there is a code India, there is a code that's a specific number. This line initializes a dictionary self countries with the country names as key and their population as value. So basically all the values are given here followed by their country name. So if you come down, you have self dot country label tk dot label master text is equal to select a country. This line creates a label widget with the text select a country associates it with the parent widget master. And we have self dot country label grid row is equal to 0, column is equal to 0. Pad X and pad Y is 10 and sticky is equal to W. This line uses a grid geometry manager to replace the self-country label widget in the first row and column of the parent widget. The pad and pad y parameter specifies padding and sticky w specifies the widget should stick the west, which is the left side of itself. And then we have self.country var is equal to tk.string var. This line creates a variable string variable instance which is special variable type in tkinter that can hold a string value and can be associated with the widget attributes. And we have self.country combo box, which is ttk.combo box master text variables is equal to self country var and values is equal to list self countries keys. This line creates a combo widget with the values taken from the keys of the self countries dictionary. The text variable parameters is set to self.country var, allowing the com box to be linked to a variable The master parameter specifies the parent widget, and we have self.country combox.grid row 0 column 1 pad x and pad y are 10 and 10. This line uses the grid geometry manager to place the self.country combox widget in the first row and second column of the parent widget, which is master. And we have self.country combox bind, which is self update population. This line binds the combo box selected event to the combo box to update population method of the classes. When a country is selected from the com box, the update population method will be called, and we have self.population label is equal to tk.label. Master is text population. This line creates a label widget, self population label with the text population and associates it with the parent widget master. And we have self.population label grid row is equal to 1 column 0 pad x and pad y 10, and we have tk as west. This line uses the grid geometry manager to place the self-population label widget in the second row and first column of the parent widget with specified padding and alignment. And we have self.population var is equal to tk.string var. This line creates a string var instances which will hold the population value displayed in the label widget. And we have self.population display is equal to tk.label master text variable is equal to self population var, and we have font as Arial 12 bold. This line creates a label widget of self population display with the text variable set to self population var, linking it to the variable that holds the population value. The font of the label is set to Arial size 12 and bold. And we have self.population display grid row is equal to 1, column is equal to 1, pad x 10, pad y 10. This line uses the grid geometry manager to place the self population display widget in the second row and second column of the parent widget master. And we have self.gradient label, tk.label master, text gradient background. So this line creates a label widget of self gradient label with the text gradient background and associate it with the parent widget master. And we have self dot gradient label grid row is equal to 2 column 0 pad x and pad y are 10 10 again sticky is equal to w. This line uses the grid geometry manager to place the self gradient label widget in the third row and first column of the parent widget with specified padding and alignment. And we have self.gradient var is equal to tk.string var. This line creates a string var instances, which is self-gradient var, which will hold the selected gradient color. And we have self.gradient combo box is equal to ttk combo box master text variable is equal to self-gradient var values is equal to red, blue, green, and yellow. This line creates a combo box widget which predefines the value of gradient color and text variable parameters is set to self gradient var to the combo to the link of combo box to variable, and it is associated with the parent widget master. And we have self gradient combo box dot grid row 2 column 1 pad x and pad y are 10 and 10. This line uses the grid geometry manager to place the self gradient combo box widget in the third row and second column of the parent widget master. And we have self dot gradient combo box bind, which is combo box selected self dot change gradient. This line binds the combo box selected event of the combo box to change the change gradient method of the class. When a gradient color is selected from the combo box, the change gradient method will be called. And lastly, we have self dot update population none. This line calls the update population method to the initially displayed the population of the selected country. The argument none is passed because the method expects an event argument which is not needed in this case. Moving on to the next function, we have DEF update population. So firstly, starting with DEF update population self, comma event. This line defines the update population method, which takes an optional event parameter. This method updates the displayed population based on the selected country, and we have country is equal to self dot country var dot get. This line retrieves the country selected country from the self.country var variable, and we have a if loop. If country in self countries, this line checks if the selected country exists in the self country dictionary, And we have population is equal to self dot countries, which is in brackets country. This line retrieves the population of the selected country from the self countries dictionary, and we have self dot population var set f population. This line updates the value of the self population variable to display the population in a formatted string with commas for thousand separators. The explanation will continue in the next message. Let me know if you like. With the else part, we have this line is the beginning of the else block which execute the selected country is not found in the self country dictionary, and we have self dot population var dot set na. This line sets the value of the self population variable to na to indicate that the population data for the selected country is not available. And the next module is to change the gradient. So firstly, we are having DEF change gradient self event. This line defines a change gradient method, which takes an optional event parameter. This method changes the background color of the main window based on the selected gradient color. And we have color is equal to self dot gradient var dot get lower. This line retrieves the selected gradient color from the self gradient variable and converts it to lowercase for consistency. And we have a if loop where if color is equal to red self dot master configure background is equal to the hexagon number of red. This line checks if the selected color and configure the background color of the main window accordingly. If the color is red, the background color is set to the shade of the red. And we have else if the color is blue, same way hexagon number of blue will be given. And if it is green, the hexagon color of green will be provided. And we have yellow, and yellow's hexagon number will be provided. So let's move on to the next function out of this loop of the class, which is the execution part. So starting with, we have def main. This line defines the main function which serves as an entry point of the program. And we have root is equal to tk.tk. This line creates a tkinter-tk instance which represents the main window of the application. And we have app is equal to population counter root. This line creates an instance of the population counter class passing the root window as its argument. And we have finally root dot main loop. This line starts the tkinter event loop, allowing the application to respond to user interaction events. The program will remain in the loop until the main window is closed. And we have if name is equal to main. This line checks if the script is being run directly as a main module. And we have main. If the script is being run directly, the main function is called to start the application. Let's quickly see the output of the program. So usually I'm going to go copy the name of the program, open the command prompt in the same window, camp and python space file name dot py. And you can see select the country, and initially it is NA, and you can see India as 1 lakh 1 crore something, and you can set the gradient background also at the same time. You can choose any other country too. Thank you so much for watching. If you have learned something from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.